Sagittarius, welcome to your yearly 2021 reading. This time of the year comes around too quickly, doesn't it, really? This is a general reading for you, my lovely Sagittarians. It's a reading for Sagittarius sun, rising and moon sign. Also listen to your rising sign and moon sign. Some months they will resonate more for you than your sun sign will. I'm creating a 12-card spread for you, one card for each month, and then I'll use a second deck to give me more depth and detail month to month. This speaks of the energy that you have to work with each month and how to best utilize that energy, knowing when to push ahead with plans, knowing when to not. Is very, very helpful, so you understand how that energy works through the year. This is a general reading for you, Sagittarius. If you would like to book a private yearly projection with me, this reading is available up until the end of January 2020. So if you would like to have a yearly reading, then make sure you follow the link to my website and book from there, as the places do fill up very quickly. So if you would like to have a yearly reading, make sure you get in before the end of January 2021. 2021, yeah. Not 2022. I'm ahead of myself. Okay, so let's have a look at what is ahead for you for 2021. Let's just see. This is my second deck. I'll get it under control. I feel like next year is going to be quite a busy year for you, Sagittarians. There's going to be a lot of decisions to make. There's life change coming up here for you too. There's something that you're going to make that's going to make a big impact to your journey, to what you're doing and where you're traveling and what you're up to in your life. So there's some sort of change coming around for you, which is interesting. So we'll see what that is as we break it down month by month, but generally that's what's going to be happening next year. It's going to be a year of, where you were at the beginning of the year, and the plans that you make. There's going to be halfway through the year, there's going to be some sort of turn of events that's going to see you doing something else, which is not a bad thing. It's just going to catch you by surprise, I think. All right, let's have a look. You've got January. In January, you've got the Palace of Wands. It's interesting because a lot of the zodiac signs are getting the Palace cards as their first card. And that Palace of Wands is a fire sign. And it's about, this is you. This is you coming home. This is you really getting in touch with what makes you work, what makes you tick, what is it that you desire, what is it that you want to do. Are you pursuing your life's passion? Are you still finding joy in what you're doing? Are you fulfilling your life's purpose? Does it still put that fire in your belly, or are you getting bored, is what I want to say to you. If it is, it might be time to mix it up a little bit so that you're really revisiting revisiting you in January is what I want to say. You're revisiting you to find out what makes you tick. How happy are you really? How happy are you really with what you're doing and how you're working and how your life's progressing? Looking back, do you think, oh wow, I had a really good year, or I had a really good time, or I really love what I'm doing? Because I've got to say to you that the Three of Wands here, you're looking at far horizons. You're looking at, and that to me speaks of looking at other things, looking at other jobs, other activities, other hobbies, other interests, other projects. There's got to be more. So there's this question that I'm hearing that's coming from you as a collective. There's got to be more to what I'm doing. There's got to be more, looking at the meaning of life, looking at far horizons, looking at what other potentials you could have. So you're really revisiting yourself to find out what it is. Are you journeying down the road that you thought you'd be on? Or do you need to look at other activities, other hobbies, other interests, other jobs even? looking at far horizons, looking beyond what it is you're doing. So looking at far horizons to me speaks of looking beyond what you are doing, looking beyond what you do day to day and how that can change. What can you do that's different, that puts that fire in your belly and that passion. So January is a real energy of review, a real energy of really looking at where you're at and being honest with yourself and where you want to be and what you want to do. Then you've got February, and in February you've got the Ten of Cups, and February is going to be all about family. It's going to be all about home. So it's going to be about being at home. It's going to be about spending time with loved ones. It's going to be about spending time with family. It's going to be about feeling safe and secure, building that strong family environment. I want to say, for those of you that have been neglecting the home front, then it might be February is a month to revisit that, to really look at that, to see what you can do to contribute to change things, to make things happier. I don't know why I'm saying that, but I'm saying it. So, you know, it's obviously coming through as well. So there's a lot to do with family, home in February, spending time at home, planning events, planning things, or simply reviewing your home life, reviewing your family, reviewing the contentment, the satisfaction that brings or doesn't bring. So there's going to be a bit of a change. You've got the Page of Wands as well. So there's, this is about planning as well. This is about planning what is your heart's desire, being strategic, planning for the future, so that there is improvement. So there may need to be changes made in the family environment, in the home front. There may be that you just need to spend more time there planning together, planning a move, planning a change of home. There's just planning to be done around the family, around the home. So whether you're restructuring, rebuilding, renovating, moving, selling, buying, getting married, getting separated, I don't know. It's just a lot to do with family in February. There's a lot to do with family in February and a lot of things that you're planning as well. Then we've got March. And in March, you've got the Page of Cups. So there's a lot of communication here. There's messages coming and going, messages coming and going via the internet. Planning your emotional, there's also planning your emotional state, planning your emotional condition, planning your emotional future. Messages via the ethers, email, texts, internet, communication with loved ones, on a love connection. Are you communicating? Is there a relationship that's happening on the internet as well? So, there's things happening over the wires in March. There's communication happening. There's planning over the internet, planning over emails, planning to be made. Your cards are flying everywhere here. Let me get those because it's busy time for you. Oh dear. So I feel like, there's a real scattering of thoughts which is there for March. There's a scattering of thoughts. So it's about bringing your thoughts back together. I'm going to give you those cards that fell as well, all three of them. So there's going to be some sort of, when you look at, it's stopping and feeling your emotions. That's what I want to say to you. And it's going to create some sort of inner conflict in you of what you need to do, what decisions you need to make. So I hope that makes sense to you, but this is what I'm getting. And so there's that inner conflict that's happening. What to do, what decisions are you going to make, what choices are you going to make, what direction do you want to move in? There's all of that going on as well. But you will get on top of things because this sort of diminishes the severity of the conflict, because it's about doing what you want to do, what direction you want to move in. Is it pursuing something that you feel passionate about too? and that's going to be successful in the outcome, because it's also going to bring you the abundance that you're seeking. And it's an abundance in love, abundance in finances. So it's going to be an interesting month. A lot of planning. So what do you feel passionate about? I feel like it's a month. March is going to be a month that's sort of going to be all over the place. It's going to be all over the place. There's going to be indecision. There's going to be indecision with you, choices that you need to make, and you're going to really think about it. You're going to really process what you're wanting and what you're doing. So there's also, to me, because it's about communication, there's communication across the globe, communication across distances as well in March. March is going to be a very busy month for you. Very busy month. Sagittarius. Gee, I hope that sort of, let's see how it unfolds. You know, it really is about seeing how it unfolds rather than trying to read into it. So see what happens when March comes along. Then in April, you've got the King of Swords. The King of Swords. This is, I want to say, this is male or female, someone that's around you that is Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini that is around you, male or female, that's going to play quite a prominent part in April. They're really going to be front and center in April, in what's going on around you, what decisions you're making, what choices you're making, what direction you're moving in. They're going to have quite a prominent role to play. But I feel like too, with you, with the King of Swords, it's about you. There's new learning, a lot of thinking, a lot of processing, knowing what it is you want, and knowing what you need to do in order to achieve it. So there's also that sort of confidence that's coming in around you as well in April. You're going to have, look, I feel like there's just a lot going on in your headspace here. You know, but it's the wheel of fortune. What goes around comes around. That's what's happening in April. What goes around comes around. You're processing it. You're thinking about it. Is this, you know, something that, like the wheel, you know, it repeats its cycles. There's something that's repeating in a cycle here. It's going to come up in April. Something that just is, you know, repeats itself. Is, you know, the wheel goes round and comes back to where it started. And so that's the wheel of fortune here. So what's going on? That there's some sort of cycle that keeps repeating itself for you. What is that? What cycle is that? And you're going to really stop and think about that in April. There's going to be a lot of thought and a lot of maybe realization and learning about some sort of repetitive cycle, and maybe stopping that cycle. For some of you too, it's the Wheel of Fortune is going to move in your favor in April. But I feel like what's come around you the first part of the year, there's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of confusion about what you're doing and how you're going to be doing it. In May, my lovely Sagittarians, your thoughts can really block you. And so it's about keeping your thoughts positive, because there's a sense of feeling stuck in May. This is how you're feeling. It may not be reality, but you're going to have that sort of energy, that feeling of being stuck, maybe unable to make a decision, unable to make a choice. But know that the blocks that you're building, that feeling of stuckness, is actually coming from you, and it's your thought patterns that are creating it. Your thought patterns that are creating it. It's about being confident in your decisions, because you've got the Queen of Wands here. It's about being confident in your decisions. This represents you, the Wands, you know. It's about being confident in your decisions, being confident in the direction that you're taking, and being very protective about the choices and decisions that you're making. And how you're moving forward. So it's about confidence. It's about confidence. So don't undermine your level of confidence and your ability by your self-talk and your thought patterns. Keep it positive, because there's a lot that can be achieved in May. And then along comes June, and in June, see this, you know, maintaining your confidence leads to new opportunities. New opportunities, there's a new project or a new job or a new promotion or a new product. It's going to come up that's going to bring you success. There's a lot of success around that. a lot of success with this new project. Leads to a lot of abundance as well, which leads to abundance, for you. So there's success there in June. It's about goal setting. In that success, it's about goal setting. It's about planning. Don't build castles in the air. Keep it practical. But you can set as many goals as you like in June, because the opportunity there for it to come to fruition is very, very strong. So if there's projects, or if there's something that you want to do, that the goals that you've set for the end of the year, there's success there. So that's good. Then you've got July, and July you've got the Page of Wands. Page of Wands is about planning. So July is going to see you planning, being strategic, not doing anything in haste, but really planning your next step, planning the sequence of events. It's like a chess game. See the checkerboard? So it's about planning something you feel passionate about, but being strategic. Play your cards close to your chest. Be strategic. Don't do anything in haste. So July is going to be about planning. It's about planning. It's about overcoming any obstacles. And that's you too. Thought patterns, cycles, behaviours, attitudes. But you will overcome anything that stands in your way. You're going to be able to overcome. It's not going to be a problem. There's nothing that's going to be anyone competing with you. You're not going to be able to keep up. Anyone that is going to try and block you, it's not going to happen. So it's about you being very clear though with what you're doing and really plan. So there's no room for confusion here. There is no room for confusion here. Then you've got in August, you've got the Tower. So it's housekeeping, house cleaning. It's about shedding anything that is no longer relevant, shedding anything that no longer serves you, shedding anything or anyone that is no longer needed or necessary or is a burden, like toxic people that are, not good for you. It could be behaviours, attitudes, thought patterns, cycles, anything that needs to be cleared out. It could even be physical possessions that builds up clutter, and if you're hoarding, you can clear it, move it on, which opens up an energy flow. Once you move on anything that's no longer needed in your life, you clear it out, it makes space and room for new things to come into your life. So August is going to see you really clearing things out, and it could be a relationship too that you're clearing out. Someone that's not going to be, it's not good for you, doesn't work for you, it's just not a good thing. So it might be time to move on from that. It might be time to move on from that romantic relationship, friendship relationship, family relationship, whatever it is. It may be time to move on from that. So there's something there that's coming up for review for you in August. Then we have September, and September there seems to be a balancing out of things. So there's a balancing out of, maybe this clearing out that you're doing in August. In September there's a balancing of assets, a balancing of finances, a balancing of property. It's also karmic, a balancing of karmic behaviours, things you've done in the past and being rewarded for that or not. It depends on what it is you've done, but there's a karmic balancing out here that's coming in September. A balancing of finances. It could be balancing of finances, money in, money out, paying bills, paying off debts. So there's going to be a balancing of that as well. It could be money coming in through work that you've done. So there's an energy exchange, a balancing out of that. But there's a lot to do with finances and a balancing out of finances. Settlements. Could be anything for you in September. It's got a lot to do with the past. It's like this is going to be a trigger for you to review things from the past. What's coming up from the past that needs to be reviewed? It all starts in August with the Tower. Let's review things. Someone might be coming in. Someone might be coming in from the past for you. You might be revisiting the past. There might be triggers that make you think about the past and release it. So there's a releasing of the past, which is also a balancing. It could be a balancing of karma. Things from the past are coming up, catching up, and there's going to be a balance in your favour maybe not in your favor. It depends. I don't know what, you know, so that's very much what's going to be happening in September. In October, you've got new opportunities. So whatever balancing, whatever needs to be done, whatever needs to be balanced out and sorted through, it's going to see you in October having a fresh start, new opportunities, moving to, you know, through the proverbial door of opportunity. There's new things that are going to come up for you. New opportunities that are going to come up for you. There's growth and there's productivity and there's finances, and life's going to fall into place. So things are going to start settling in October for you. Things will start settling in October for you, which is good. Which is good. And then let's see what other cards. So we've got opportunities coming in October. Things are settling in October. I don't feel like the energy is so manic. You know, I don't feel like the energy is so manic around you. You know, there's a balancing out. You've got the Knight of Cups. So this is to do with emotions, and it's about moving forward on an emotional level, a self-discovery on an emotional level, doing something you feel passionate about on an emotional level. So it's time to move forward. It's time to take action. It's time to really analyze emotions. It's time, if there's a new relationship, it's time to move forward on that new relationship. It's time to go delve beneath the surface on that new relationship, on romance and on love as well. So these new opportunities that are coming up for you are also new opportunities as far as your emotions go, as far as love goes, as far as relationships go as well. Then you've got November. I'll tell you what, there's cards going, I'll give you those three have come out, so we'll do that. Why do you have this sense of loss? This is something that in November, this is something you're going to be feeling. It's not going to necessarily be reality, because look at the stained glass window at the back. There's a lot of light coming through, but you might feel like you're being left out in the cold. You might feel like there's, you know, everyone's got a happy family, everyone's got happiness, everyone's doing well, everyone's successful, and why not me? But you have everything that you desire. It's just you need to, your way of thinking needs to catch up. So you're going to be feeling probably a little bit down in November, but that's coming from you. That's coming from you. So it's going to require self-reflection here. So it's going to require self-reflection of why are those blocks there. So there's going to be some self-growth and self-reflection coming your way, which is going to require a change of perspective. Okay, you're going to need to change your perspective and look at this situation differently. Look at this situation differently, because you're going to feel like you're left out in the cold. You're going to feel like your life's not falling into place, but in actual fact it is. You need to go within, you need to self-reflect, and you need to change the way you're looking at things. You need to change the perspective of things. So it's going to be a month of reflection and introspection, to really look at where you're going and what you're doing, and showing gratitude for what you do have. Change your perspective on what it is you do have around you. That's going to be really important. By December, you've got the Queen of Coins, the Queen of Pentacles, and this is you feeling really comfortable about where you're moving to in 2021, 2022. Getting my years mixed up. 2022, feeling how, this is what you'll feel like moving into 2022, really confident. Things are starting to fall into place for you. So there's it's a year of change, it's a year of mix-up, it's a year of, all sorts of different things happening. There's going to be a lot happening. While it seems like all these different things are happening, it's going to be a year of being busy, which is what I said to you. It's going to be a year of being busy. By December, you're going to reap the benefits of your efforts. It's about being patient, because the work you put in all year, you're going to really start seeing results by December and moving into 2022. But it's about being patient so that you can reap those rewards. So there's, I did say to you it was going to be a very busy year, and it is going to be a very busy year for you. There's a lot of things happening around you here that is going to cause you to self-reflect. There's a lot of change coming as well. I'm going to draw a card from the Dreamtime reading cards to see how we're going to summarize what's going on for you in the year. There it is. Let's have a look at what that is. The spider. The spider. The spider is all about weaving a web of connections. Weaving a web of connections, which is what you're doing. You're building connections. There's connections from the past and how that's affecting your present and how it's affecting your future and where you're moving to in your future, how your thought patterns affect your reality, affect your future, affect where you're going. So everything's interconnected. The past has made you who you are today. The present and thought patterns is creating your future. There's connectedness. There's connectedness with people in your life. There's connectedness with your reality. And the spider's always busy. You know, you demolish the web and it will rebuild it instantly. So it's always working, always building connections, always improving, always, you know, building its home, building its web. So very interesting. That's your year of, you know, being busy, building connections, creating your future. And then the angels of abundance, let's have a look at what that is. That's power of prayer. Power of prayer, and that's that introspection that's coming up for you the last 2 months of the year. Give the situation to God for uplifting and healing, and be open to miracles. Heaven's unlimited resources, love and answers are awaiting your prayers. Be sure to act upon the divine guidance God gives to you in response to your prayers. So it's about having faith, it's about going within, it's about self-analysis, and that's that karmic balance that's coming for you. So I hope that resonates for you. It's about looking at month to month and the energies you have to work with. I wish you many blessings, joy and prosperity in 2021. If you would like to book a personal yearly projection, you can follow the links to my website and you can book a reading from there, a yearly reading from there. Yearly readings are only available till the end of January 2021. So make sure you get in if you're interested in having one of those. Many blessings to you.